Another adventurer looking for work? Did you? Well, that's why it was posted. It's simple. Citizens tell us what they need, and we arrange for the job to be completed. You will be able to meet with the client before starting the task. They'll also have your reward, not us. Belleru Omeril and her brother Traylan will handle your assignments. Check in with them frequently to see if they have a job for you. They'll inform you what you need to accomplish and who made the request. Traylan handles requests which the temple has special interests in. His tasks require more subtlety, but they are by no means easy. Make sure to listen to his explanations carefully. It's also a good idea to speak to the clients beforehand. Belleru's requests may appear straightforward, but many adventurers find them difficult to accomplish. The assortment of enemies she'll ask you to face are all powerful, and I would recommend gathering allies before heading out. I would hope. You came to us, after all. Traylan and Belleru are just down the hall. They should already have assignments for you. Speak to either of them to get started.
If you don't have any business here, then move...
Citizens hand in their request, I tell you what I know, and you take care of it. The person with the problem is usually more than willing to talk your ear off about it. The more people you can convince to help you with the job, the better. Well, here's a nasty one. Ever seen a hunger before? Looks like there's one causing trouble in Silipun Grange. Appears to be protecting a newly discovered ruin, and some researchers need help killing it. The notice sounds quite panicked, actually. Head to Silipun Grange, gather some relic pieces, and try to take care of the hunger that's protecting the area. Tivina Avani should be in the city with more information. Nervous little thing. She'll have your pay once you're done with the task.
Current events have left the temple in need of additional resources. The requests I handle are citizens whose interests best align with the goals of the temple. You'll work with these individuals to help better Vvardenfell. Are you interested? Bandits are occupying a cave called Zain Sipulu. They're under the delusion that they have access to a monopoly of moon sugar grasses, a plant that isn't able to naturally grow here in Vvardenfell. We'd like to keep them preoccupied. Misinformation. Take these 2 notes regarding moon sugar's growth process. Leave one near their crop and one near their research. Deal with the bandits however you like. Evos is nearby if you need more information. He'll also have your reward.
This is bad. This is very... You look well-traveled, friend. Are you, by chance, going to Sadrith Mora? I can make it worth your while. Opportunity. Or that's what I thought, until I angered de Vvardenfell by failing to deliver the special mushrooms he ordered on time. Lost the shipment. Now I'm in a bind. I have the mushrooms, but I'm afraid fear will evaporate me for late delivery. You aren't at fault for the late delivery, so fear shouldn't do anything to you. Won't do anything to you, I mean. I guarantee it. Besides, I'll let you keep the payment he owes me as well. I'd rather avoid the situation altogether at this point. You're saving my life here, friend. I don't dare refuse the order, but I also don't want to meet a displeased Telvanni. For someone who's helping me out this much, you can ask as many as you like. No clue. If a Telvanni mage wants them, I can only suppose they have magical properties. You won't see me putting them in any of my stews, that's for damn sure. The Telvanni aren't like you and I, friend. They're powerful and quick to anger and have no qualms about harming those who displease them. Sadrith Mora is up on the eastern coast, so you could walk, but I wouldn't recommend it. Talk to Cinda, our local navigator. She can sail you up there on her next trip. That's how I was going to get there until I missed my delivery time.
Are you here about the job I posted? I doubt you'll want to go through with it once you hear the details. You have? You really want to fight that thing? I don't care if these ruins contain the bones of Lorcan himself. I'm not going back until that monster is gone. But hey, if you want to fight a Daedra and grab a few pointless relics for us, feel free. Finding useless ruins is the family business. My own mother currently heads our research team. She insisted I put the notice up, if you must know. Honestly, if it was up to me, I'd be a fat, happy baker right now. Instead, I'm just a scrawny coward. In my opinion, probably nothing. We'll translate a few tablets, clean up some bones, guess as to who owned the place. We'll find a useless detail to insert into a dull chapter of a pompous book no one will read anyway. Hungers are Daedra associated with Boethia. This one was likely summoned by a cultist centuries ago. They are, as the name denotes, very hungry, especially for mortal flesh. I prefer pastries. I wouldn't fight one, but you seem more than willing.
Are you the misinformant sent by the temple? The more we wait, the closer those bandits get to succeeding. I would personally love to put an arrow through the skull of every single bandit in that cave, but I've been told this case needs finesse. Plant the notes without the bandits noticing, and we should be able to keep them preoccupied for a while yet. Just some gibberish the temple came up with. They contain enough technical terms to appear legitimate, but say nothing that's actually going to help the Moonsugar's growth. It should keep the bandits trying and trying with no success. Too much risk, too much trouble. Better to simply confuse the Swits. We can keep them occupied, cooped up in their cave, and stop contraband from invading our shores. The more they fail to grow Moonsugar, the more determined they seem to get. It's hardly sometimes. My own sister robbed our parents blind to pay for her skooma habit before running off with some fetcher. When I came to Vvardenfell, I promised I'd never let that happen to any family under my watch.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault. Difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivek told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than fieldwork, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Bolmora, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's Tower. Haven't you left yet? The sites at Bolmora, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's Tower aren't going to investigate themselves. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivek City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivek thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivek. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Barrelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivek's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. I traced tendrils of Vivek's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivek's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
I couldn't help overhear what you and the Archcanon discussed. Good luck out there.
Appointments? Bah! It's beyond belief that the temple keeps me waiting. Don't they realize that it's a courtesy that I'm here? My twin and I are apprentices to the great Vvardenfell. I'm here on his behalf to report to the priests about an incident which occurred near the growth site of his new tower, Tel Fear. A rift opened when we were shaping the workshop below the tower. Master Fear believes there is a connection to the living gods. He's sure to explore the rift once his expedition is assembled. My sister could tell you more if that interests you. You may take this boat to Tel Fear. Dania will be there assisting our master. She always was the lucky one. I must stay and wait for my audience with the priests. I didn't see much myself. I was evacuated well before the threat could reach me. Many weren't so lucky. I regret I'll be reporting that most of the Telvanni working on the tower died. There was some confusion on that point. The things coming out of the rift appeared to be constructs, but like nothing anyone had seen. Master Fear's theory, which is assuredly correct, was that the rift converged with Clockwork City. Master Fear said about a dozen seasoned adventurers would do. Maybe less if they had extensive experience with planar travel, but he thought that unlikely. Not while she's with Master Fear. He would never let anything happen to her. He's very protective of us. I can't speak for the rest of you.
Welcome. You stand amidst the Circle of Champions, a guild formed to test the greatest fighters of the realm in games of skill. Do you have what it takes? Well then, let's see what you're made of. Participate in one of our games at any of our battlegrounds. Win or lose, doesn't matter. Just get your feet wet. I can offer you a greater challenge after you've learned the ropes.
We're just about ready to set sail. I don't know about you, but the moonlit is looking a little too close for comfort these days. We're headed to Sadrith Mora, if that's where you'd like to go. Just decide quick. I want to sail on the next... I was planning on sailing to Sadrith Mora next.
Locate a solvent and some reagents so you may craft a potion. I'll remain here for now. An apprentice of mine tried to use seawater as a solvent. I had him drink the results. He agreed it was a terrible idea after he finished. Good. Now go to an alchemy station. Use a solvent and 2 differing reagents to craft a potion. The reagents must possess common traits, or you'll waste all components. You see, potions have far too many benefits to recount. Expect them to have strong effects for short periods of time. Or are you asking how to use them? Open the stopper, place them to your lips, and swallow. Don't open your knapsack and place them in your mouth. The first time you consume a reagent, you'll learn its most rudimentary trait. True, some taste quite foul, but it's a small price to pay for the power of alchemy. Potions have far too many benefits to recount. Expect them to have strong effects for short periods of time. Or are you asking how to use them? Open the stopper, place them to your lips, and swallow. Don't pour them on your hair. Lesson learned. Open your knapsack and place them in your mouth. The first time you consume a reagent, you'll learn its most rudimentary trait. True, some taste quite foul. Blend the solvent's purity with the reagent's traits. Return to me when you've crafted a potion. Your potions have a slight fizz to them, but your skill with admixtures is unquestioned. Far better than my former apprentice. You are now authorized to obtain and fulfill alchemy writs. May your elixirs remain potent and your reagents fresh. Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you. A provisioner condenses the essence of ingredients into food or drink. A true artist balances palate with nutrition. I can share this noble profession, but I can only certify one craft at a time. Understood? Provisioning is a rewarding yet grueling profession. Gruel, you see. I am capable of levity, on occasion. First, yes, I hope you don't think it beneath you. As bards learn lyrics before singing them, provisioners must work from recipes. A recipe specifies volume, proportion, and preparation time. Understanding these principles is key. I keep an old rival's recipe nearby. Go, find and memorize it. Return to me when you have done so. Provisioners are quite secretive, but all is fair in brews and stews. Some provisioners hide recipes in old drawers or shelves, thinking themselves clever. Better to memorize the recipe. Then others cannot possibly learn your secrets. Should coin be of no issue to you, guilds often sell such items in their guild stores. You may also trade with an ally if they have any excess.
Fine goods at fair prices. Fine goods at fair prices. Selling, trading.
You there. So I was right. You're a sword for hire. Excellent. My name is Marla Rethan of House Hlalu, and I have a proposition for you. I need someone to investigate what's going on in the Vasia Ditanat ebony mine. Piqued your interest, have I? Capital. My brother Benar and I share ownership of the mine, but I suspect he's hiding something from me. The little weasels even locked down the entrance. Only his personal guards are allowed inside. There are only 2 keys to the mine. Benar keeps one in our manor house. The other is carried by the mine's foreman, Nox. I want you to procure a key, either one, and then search the mine for any sign of mischief. Report back with your findings. Foreman Knox is somewhere in Balmora. Should be simple enough to pluck the key from his pockets. Or, if you prefer burglary, you could take my brother's key from the desk in his study. Our man is just... Well, the key should be no trouble. My brother is away at the moment, and the house guards are not exactly the keenest. If you choose to pickpocket the foreman, well, just avoid the city watch, I suppose. That's the rub. The mine is well guarded. My brother insisted that I hire only the rowdiest and most ill-tempered mercenaries, so I brought on the Iron Hound Company. I can vouch for their pugnacity. I'd prefer to avoid bloodshed, of course, but I don't want to tip my brother off. If he is up to something, I'll need deniability to maintain the element of surprise. Besides, they're mostly criminals, drunks, and skooma addicts. Expendable, yes? My dear brother prefers to keep our roles in the business separate. He runs the mine while I handle the finances. He doesn't interfere with my work, nor I his. That's the agreement. Oh, I have, but Benner tells me nothing. It's just secure more buyers and hire more workers. He gets dreadfully annoyed when I press him about my concerns. Like, why do we need so many miners? Even the townsfolk are starting to talk about that. You haven't heard the rumors? The cursed mine of Vasir Didenot, they call it. They go in, but they don't come out. Just inane ghost stories, truth be told. But if the rumors persist, it could soil our reputation. Well, the mine has underperformed for years. I'd actually considered selling it. Until recently, that is. Ebony has been pouring out of the mine these past few months. Normally, I'd be overjoyed, but that's also when Benner became distant. Anything out of the ordinary. I don't suppose you'd know the difference between pure ebony and... Never mind. Just give the mine a good look and keep an eye out for mischief. If you find anything odd, bring it back with you. I have many important clients that depend on the success of this mine. They'll hold me personally responsible if anything isn't correct. I'd like to avoid that kind of unpleasantness.
I can't believe they want us to go outside the house to find Vaya. You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vaya? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmora, Promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the Counselor. Along with Counselor Eris can be found at the Redarin kin house. And do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vaya. If he finds... I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redarin doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am... Fair. How can anyone not know about House Redarin? Is this... Well, in that case... Redarin is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. If I knew what happened to the Counselor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. There wasn't any foul play involved that we're aware of. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Counselor. Fair. How can anyone not know about House Redarin? Well, Counselor Eris Relith oversees Redarin operations in Balmora and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the Counselor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vaya is his daughter, after all.
Please, if you just listen.
Take care of yourself, Father.
I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler. And you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, I will pay you well. It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest. I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. Nary are less than Mills, but both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drennan consumed a great deal of my time. Mills, you'll know soon enough, as will they, I hope. I failed them. It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Redguard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makella Lecky. No history. I purchased it from my master, Drennan, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for... how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will...
Do you make a habit of randomly accosting people while they fish? I don't see how that's any of your business. I've nothing to say to my father or those his Telvanni master employs. Whatever this is about, it's no concern of mine. My father managed to leave me out of his life. He can leave me out of his problems, too. You want to talk? My sister Neria works the stables. She tolerates my father's business better than I do.
Please, this one needs to get out of here. Those cultists, they're insane.
All right, but keep your voice down. I'll be ready to leave soon enough. In the meantime, if anyone asks, you're just here to haul cargo.
What? Who? This one is just here to haul cargo. Cultists? This one said nothing about cultists. Perhaps you are thinking of another Khajiit. Look, Renaku just wants to leave all these crazy dark elves behind and find a safer mine to work in. The Shulk ore mine is cursed. Really? You? Just leave Renaku out of it. If you want to know what happened so badly, just go out to the Shulk ore mine and see for yourself. No one likes a Gwar licker, you clawless kitten. It happened a few days back. Weird cultists just barged in and took over the mine. This one managed to get away, but the crew chief and some of the others are still out there. Happy now, fish breath?
I'm rather busy right now.
Well?
Ow! Stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone. There's something strange about that dog.
My, you look like a well-traveled individual. If you're looking to give your mount a well-deserved rest, you've come to the right place. We know how to pamper a loyal Gwar in Balmoral. My father? Oh no, has he taken a fall? Or did he ask you to do something for him? He's been declining of late, and I'm afraid he's not entirely in his right mind. Oh, Mills. He was so young when Mother passed. I've tried to explain that Father had to work to keep a roof over our heads. It's been difficult. I raised Mills myself while Father was away, which was often. He's never forgiven Father for that. I wish he didn't have to work so much. Master Drennan pays well, but sometimes I worry he will work Father to death. He's just so tired all the time. Even when he finds time away, Mills refuses to see him, and I know that hurts him dearly. I did for a bit, after Mother died. I didn't understand why Father couldn't be with us until I grew up and learned how hard it is to keep a family housed and fed. Now I appreciate all Father's sacrifices for us. I just wish Mills could see it. I'm afraid I don't know. All he's been able to tell me is that part of his contract with Master Drennan forbids him from disclosing any of the Master's business, even to his own children. Whatever he's doing, I'm certain it's important. Oh yes, Father is well regarded among the Telvanni, though he's never aspired to be one himself. Master Drennan trusts him implicitly, and if you know anything about the Telvanni, that's impressive on its own. They don't trust easily.
I don't remember.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redarin proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. It used to be an ore mine, and we hope it will be again. My crew was inside preparing to start up mining operations when the cultists attacked. The way things are going, we might just have to turn the place into another Kwama egg mine. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god." Or something along those lines. Look, I was just trying to get me and my miners out of there when the Ashlanders showed up. Well, I never actually saw an Ashlander, but I heard a cultist yell, "Ashlander thief! That's our mystical weapon!" That's not an exact quote, but you get the idea. I don't know what happened after that. I was kind of busy trying not to die. Really?
like this?
Steals from the followers of Nikot.
Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand. I think I'll wait a little longer and see if any of my miners were able to escape from the cultists. Good luck with your mission, whatever it is.
May I be of service?
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vaya can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this. Vaya fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vaya knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you. Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. That is a private matter. If your investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then, but not before. Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter. Vaya has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization. Though I hope I'm wrong about that. The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the Tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war. But I still find the practice barbaric. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find... He's probably patrolling the town.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the house guard. You must be one of the freelancers the Council employed to supplement the duties of the house guard. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Vaya ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Vaya... I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vaya is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an Outlander. We think her friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us. Perhaps. As long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vaya, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town. See if you can follow the note. When you find Vaya's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vaya. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it. Vaya's a born warrior. Hard-headed, stubborn, A real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, but she always turns me down. That's not my tale to tell. If Councillor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Vaya. If and when you find her. We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them, but they split up and she lost them in the back alleys. Could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail.
Is this on straight?
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Speaking of the tribunal, you have the smell of dog about you. I wonder why that is. Lord Vivek, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander. Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Aldrin is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But my brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead. Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't hesitate to attack without reason or provocation. No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku, though he's respected by most of the other Ashlanders for his wisdom and strength of will. He does hope to unite the tribes in a common cause, however. That's one of the reasons we've gathered here at Aldrin. As you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate. They're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. It's unfortunate, but they'll leave you no choice. The Red Exiles, they're violent, dangerous Ashlanders who were banished from their tribes and joined together to create their own clan. Chodala invited them to the gathering and went into the camp to talk, but he's been gone too long. I'm worried. My brother and I have always worked to help our people and improve the Ashlander way of life. He used to believe that peaceful negotiation was the best path to accomplish this. Recently, however, things have become different. He's almost like... No, that's not something I'm ready to talk about with an outsider. Perhaps after you prove your trustworthiness and willingness to help us, then we can discuss my brother in more detail. Perhaps. That's not our goal, but the tribes will defend themselves if necessary. No, we hope to present a united front and show the houses the folly of the path they've embarked upon. Turning away from our forefathers and god ancestors has made them weak.
Ah, a fellow outsider in this inn. Drelleth Hilaron of House Redoran at your service. Though I doubt I'll be very useful here. This is Ashlander country, and they've made it clear I'm not welcome. It's my fault, really. I made a mess of their customs when I arrived. I'm researching for my family's ancestral tomb, you see. My research led me here, to Aldrin. It's hard to believe, but I think my family may have settled here for a time. When I arrived, I immediately started asking questions. I was overzealous. Unfortunately, yes. I wonder if we might aid each other. Despite my missteps, I do know a great deal about Ashlander culture. I could help you earn their favor. In return, you could find out if they know anything about my family's tomb. First, pay respect to Farseer Quanta. She walks the Red Path this year, and it's customary to wish her well. Request to take part in the offering to the first Ashkans. Do that, and you should be able to ask their wise woman about the tomb. Yes, the Hilaron ancestral tomb. My family's crypt has been lost for centuries. Most of my kinsmen gave up searching for it decades ago. They assume it's been destroyed or lies too deeply buried, but I remain optimistic. I discovered a tablet hidden away in an ancient Velothi temple. It contained a cryptic reference to my family. In the shadow of Scar, we found our home. The Ashlanders call the last Emperor Crab Scar, so the tomb must be nearby. The tribes gather here every year beneath Scar to pay tribute to the first Ashkans. Do you know the old Velothi saying, all stones speak the truth? Well, no one knows these stones better than the Ashlanders. The annual pilgrimage to honor the fall of Scar, the great Emperor Crab. The Ashlanders claimed their ancestors united to bring the beast down. They gather here to celebrate the victory and bring offerings to the cairns of the first Ashkans. You're a Dunmer. Do you not know the story? The first Ashkans were the fathers of the 4 great tribes. They brought the Velothi people together to kill Scar. The tribes often quarrel, but here they're family. I wish the houses had such a custom. You'll see a great bonfire in the middle of the camp. She'll be there. Look for the woman with the blindfold. Part of the ritual honoring her ascension from Farseer to Wise Woman. The Wise Women guide the Ashlanders on matters of faith. Even the Ashkans defer to them. The blindfold represents the need to look beyond what the eyes can see.
What's that? Perfume and incense. You have the stink of the great houses on you, Oathman. What brings a house Dunmer like you to Aldrin? Have you now? Then you have my thanks, and my curiosity also. Outsiders rarely show us such respect. When they do, it is always because they want something. What do you want? Remarkable. You would honor our ancestors. Very well. I give you my blessing. You hesitate. Shall I explain the custom? Each of the 4 great tribes seek a unique and worthy offering. You must place the gift at the foot of each Ashkan's cairn. For Ahemusa, an ashen fern. For Erebenimsum, the weapon of an exile slain by your hand. For Urshilaku, the bones of a Gwar returned to ash. And for Zainab, the hidden treasure of a Kwama queen. We will see how much fire you hold in your heart. Yes, though becoming is a clumsy word for it. Every daughter of Veloth has worth. When we learn to speak with our water tongue and read the truth in the stones, we also learn the truth of our hearts. The truth is, we have been wise all along.
You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so... brazen. It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes while I tried to keep them all from doing anything rash. All I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala stopped confiding in me, but he's still my brother. I don't know where he goes to meditate, but he has to visit the Wise Woman eventually. I'm sure we'll find him in Aldrin. Despite your civilized ways, I am proud to call you my friend. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes while I tried to keep them all from doing anything rash. While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That's not the Nerevarine I believe in. He uses an Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to dissuade him from this violent course. You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander, and the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed to be gods, until they betrayed him. So our legends say. Nerevar united the Kaima and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the Tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivek's claims to the contrary. The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine. All I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically invincible, and swifter than the fastest Ashlander scout. Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's unreasonable, but I hate that staff. He calls it Sunara.
can I help you?
They say close.
Dwemer gear. It's in remarkably good condition.
Yes, wonderful. I'll mark it down.
And here, another. Could these have fallen off the ruins?
Yes, that is peculiar.
Is something the matter, dear? You seem distracted today.
Oh, nothing's the matter. I'm nervous.
Whatever for. If anything attacks us, I'll protect you.
I'm not nervous about an attack, Bravura. It's just... well... there's no good way to say this.
To say what?
Marry me?
Are you serious?
That's... not the response I hoped for.
Gilon, of course I'll marry you. I love you. I just expected something more dramatic.
Well, I planned to propose at the falls, but today we didn't go to the falls. I had to improvise.
And this is why you've been so nervous.
Yes. Wait. Did you just agree to marry me?
Yes, Gilon. 12 times yes. My dear, distracted, adorable archivist, I will marry you.
That's wonderful!
Isn't it?
Oh, Bravura, you won't regret this. You are the stars to my sky.
Did you just come up with that?
Well, no. I've been saving it for the right time.